I thought that you would enjoy seeing a repair. This is a Suzuki bass harp. Why don't I show you how I lay out my tools and why they're the way they are and my light, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. Well, one of the most important things you can do when you're working with anything technical is to have a phenomenal quality light. Now this light has foil on the inside, 2 bulbs, and 2 power on-offs. So I can go from a bluish light to an amber light, which is gentler on the eye. This is just the white light, and that's the amber 2. Then my tools are in a box. The harp parts will go into here for safekeeping. I use rubber gloves. It's not that I don't, want to touch it for hygienic reasons. It's that I get a better grip. And then I have my screwdriver ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead here and let's go ahead and just, why don't we come in a little tighter for you, and let's see what we're going to do. Well, with any instrument that comes in, oh, by the way, I forgot, these are just little magnifying glasses. No big deal, you can buy those at a drugstore. With anything that comes in, it's always a good idea. This one came from Europe. He wants it airtightening. And by the way, I would remove jewelry at this point. I just don't, and I'm on wood. This is a breadboard so that I won't scratch anything. And let's open it up. One of the first things I got to do is inspect it, because people expect a very high degree of work from me, and that's why they'll send them to me. I don't do much repair work. It's really not my field, but they know when it comes here, it's going to really be done at a very, very high level. So everything has kind of got to be right. Well, the first thing is, I don't know if this harp's okay. I'm going to have to inspect it. So I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to look at the parts, and then I'm going to thoroughly clean it. So any kind of work that's done, including air tightening, I'm going to start by inspecting and cleaning. I might find a breath saver I don't like the look of, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to find. That's why I'm looking. I don't know what I'm going to find. That's how I get the covers off. You just drop them off. Fair enough. That goes like that. And then if you want, you can put the screws into the cover here. I find that helps me to just keep everybody lined up properly. And at this point, when I remove mouthpiece screws, of course, I come in. Now, by the way, I do want you to be aware, this is a very good screwdriver. It's German. And I use them because the tine shape is very accurate. And, okay, I can see that he's been using some slide oil here. Okay. This has to come apart because I also want to inspect the bumpers and make sure they're okay. And, I find that if you provide somebody with a wonderful level of service that's picky, they really appreciate it, and they'll become your friend for the rest of your life. They just have so much trust in what you're doing, and I have a lot of fun with that. Giving recommendations. I'm just going to wipe it off. Of course, it'll be cleaned, but this slide's been moving pretty smoothly here. I don't see problems with. Now, once I saw a misshaped underside to an SCX that wouldn't stay airtight. It was very rare. I'm very positive on quality of Suzuki harmonicas, by the way. I think they're the SCX is a great value, and of course I play a program RA. Okay, let's see what we got going here. I'm just going to look at the reeds and see, do I feel that they're gapped properly? And the answer is no, they're not. So I'm going to talk with him about regapping those reeds a little bit. They're not off a tremendous amount, but they're off. Oh well. I don't know if I can show you this. I'm going to try. The reed gap is the distance that the reed is off the reed plate. And that's too big, and that's too big. Why they're too big, I don't know. That's too big. That's too big. That's definitely too big. Okay. Now, because these screw heads are here, you can lay it down that way, but I like to just hold it in this instance. I don't want this to touch anything at all. So I'm going to start just by loosening these and not really taking them out all the way, because when I drop out the screws, I want to do it in a way where everything is under control. I just don't want anything happening here that's not. Now, if you're not careful, see how where I can, I try to guide the position of the screwdriver with my index finger. I can't up here because I got to hold this harp, but like that when I caught with the tongue, or with my thumb, then I come here. Now, what's going to happen is, see, the bottom one wants to let loose, the bottom reed plate. And what I like to do, and I know this is kind of, a lot of people might say, why do you do this? But I do. I mark the bottom and the top. I don't want to mess around with any kind of mistakes. So that one is on this one is the top, and this one is the bottom. So now I know which is which at a glance. Okay. I need a little clearer if I could, right like that. Okay. Now, I just don't want to. These are very, very fat reeds. I just don't want to lay it down with any weight on it at all. So let's see if we can't just get this thing to come apart while I pull every screw now. Hear it click when I get to the end of the threads. The reed plates are kind of, they're easy to damage, you know, a little bit of care and gentle treatment early on. Good way to get these out, just lean them out. Just lean them out. And that one didn't want to come. That one didn't want to come, and I got one more here I missed. Okay, so now everybody's out. Okay, that can go here, and this goes here. But see how fat those reeds are? That's what they have to put on to get that reed to go so low. So I can tell that these, they do need to be a little cleaned. I am going to set them right here. All these screws will go into a different cover. See, I have two covers. One of them is one set of screws, and this is the other one. And this goes like this, and then I have that's how I remove this. And I want to make sure that, see, on this harp, the mouthpiece screws go into a little teeny brass thing here. Well, if the plastic things that hold the brass thing aren't there anymore, those can be lost while you're working on the harp. So I can tell right now that this comb is not flat. And the reason is that there's lines from when this was injected. And I can just tell it's not flat. As a matter of fact, for fun, let me show you how you can prove it. Easy. I use high precision sanding blocks, which I dress after every use. See, it's rocking. Of course it's not flat. Okay, so I can come here, see, I mean, I haven't done this a lot, but I can already see that some areas got sanded and some didn't. Well, that means it's not flat. That is the method I'll use to flatten this, but I want to reshape the bottom again one more time with my diamond dresser. But no, this is not flattened. This was something that Will Gallison told me. He said that the Suzukis, you know, they required a lot of breath because they're really not airtight. Now, if this is not totally flat, then it cannot mate with the undersurface here, which, by the way, these are very precisely cut. The underside of a Suzuki mouthpiece is very precise. So if this is flat, you can, you'll have an airtight harp. And you can get into some issues with a slide. Sometimes people put, you know, they'll get the slide spring off this hole and it'll scratch up the mouthpiece, but that has not happened here. And of course, if you ever bend one of these, get rid of it and replace it. Don't try to ever, I would not try to repair them. I have, but I'll never do it. I just won't do that. Anyway, so we know that this isn't flat. Pretty straightforward. My next thing now is I'm going to clean, and why don't I show you that so you can see that. In the meantime, we're going to clean these just with water, and you may enjoy watching that procedure. And of course, when I have them here ready for go, I'll put them hanging over so I can pick them up. Okay, time to clean.